Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a little bit, it's been about a week. I've been super busy. And honestly, just been really struggling to, I guess, manage my time. So as you guys know, I do have a new job that I do 3 days a week. And there's something else in the works for me that is quite exciting. I'll tell you guys more about that once I know more about that. But let's do Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine check-in. I'm going to use Love Oracle Cards 3. Honestly, if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know there is a lot that has been going on within the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine collective. Within the last week or two, in the last 2 weeks, the energy has been not fun, let's say, not fun. So let's sort of dig into that. I currently have a blocked right ear, which is triggering my sensory issues like crazy. So if you see me going like this, it's just me trying to unblock it. All right, let's see. Let's start with Divine Feminines. What's going on for the Divine Feminines within the connection? If you guys would like to grab a personal reading with me, you can do so by heading to the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. All right, so we've got Splitsville and Altered View. So it says leaving quickly, decisively, the relationship is devolving or ending, not keeping in touch, time alone. Okay, so that could be any of those things for you guys. It doesn't have to be, so please don't worry about that. And then we've got Altered View, seeing things differently than they are, past conditioning influencing the situation. It's time to reevaluate. So I'm getting the sense that some of you are seeing your masculine in a negative light all of a sudden. You're seeing that the relationship is devolving, or that it's losing its value in some kind of way, especially when it comes to life goals. I feel like there's a lot of insecurity around this for the Divine Feminines. And the good news with that is it is just past conditioning. It is just past conditioning. Some of you are sort of like, you have this conditioning that like if something doesn't work out, you have to leave. And it's like, that might be your go-to. That might be like your first thing where you're like, oh, I've got to leave. It's time to leave. And you might be stressing about that going, oh, well, I don't want to leave. I don't want things to end. There is a lack of communication here. It says, address concern without attacking the person. Communication is the issue. And healthy, loving dialogue. So healthy, loving dialogue is available to you, Divine Feminine. But communicating about it is the hard thing. You don't need to jump straight into that, okay? You can just pause within this space. You can just pause. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to, I mean, they could change for the better, but nothing, like your masculine's not going to leave you. They're not going to tell you that they don't want to see you again. Like nothing like that. I think I am going to see again. Yeah, there's just allow yourself some time to process the insecurities that are coming up for you before you begin to communicate. Chances are there's going to be like an aha moment where you understand the conditioning like that you've been seeing. Also, I didn't realize it said time alone. So you and your masculine might need some time alone. That doesn't mean that you have to be like, if you live with your masculine like I do, you don't have to like not interact with them. I think it's just when this energy happens, it means that you need some time with yourself to process what's going on before reacting. And I've noticed a pattern when this sort of energy happens where we're both sort of like in this place where we're sort of isolating. We both do tend to isolate, which is like we enjoy that, but I think there's this conditioning of like, oh, something's wrong. If we're isolating, something's wrong. There is nothing wrong unless we both feel that there is, genuinely. Like, is it conditioning, or do we both have a problem with the isolation? Or, you know, chances are we're isolating for a reason, especially with these highly charged energetic connections. Sometimes we're getting these downloads, we're getting these upgrades, and sometimes we really just need to spend some time within ourselves, just really going within, because something is about to happen, something to do with life goals, something's about to change, something is moving forward, okay? But it's okay to communicate that when it comes to, once you understand what the problem or the issue is for you, it's okay to communicate that. And this goes for like all relationships, really. And this is why it's like, this is like universal advice, because we are twin flames, and that's what the whole point of the connection is, to redo the paradigm of relationship and show people that the paradigm of relationship can look many different ways, and it's all about what works for the individual couple, so long as it's not toxic or abusive. That's what it's about. And you know, it's about teaching people how to identify their own past conditioning and their own influences, and how that influences how relationships have failed, how relationships are failing, and what they need to do in order to not be that way if they don't want to be. We have strategy and money issues. So it says, have a game plan, implement daily routines that support your goals, be clear about desires. And that sits right underneath the life goals card. So I feel like there could be a discrepancy in between, in the ways that both the masculine and the feminine have idealized or have an idea about how to do this when it comes to money issues. And I think that both are a little bit nervous about communicating how to do life together, and whether you guys do have the same life goals, things like that. Fighting over money, healing the root chakra, lack of trust, fear and safety, security, survival, control. Excuse me. Thought I was gonna go again. So money issues could just be could be an issue for the both of you right now. Let's see. Maybe one of you is in a position to make a change or move or go forward, and the other one isn't financially. And this is where you both need to communicate what your sort of goals are. The graduate. New life phase or stage in relationship. Someone has grown, healed, and evolved. Let's see which one of them is, and it might trigger the other, but let's see. This has just been a collective energy of what's going on with both divine feminine and divine masculine. I know I wanted to start with divine feminine, but that's not the direction in which we're heading today, which is fine. Not too many. We'll take this one. 10 of Wands. So whoever this is, they feel like there's a lot of burdens, or there's a lot in the way, or they have like a lot of responsibility either to the other or just in general. To the other. Okay. So someone feels like they're carrying a lot of the weight. It could be the divine feminine. Let's go deeper here. Four of Swords. This is why they're reclusive. Because there's something about the confidence here with the Queen of Wands. It's confidence. So, and it's also talking about like the Queen of Wands, she's involved in what her heart desires, in what she's passionate about. Just turn this here on. Why is there a feeling of being overburdened? Hanged Man, okay. So it seems like this is really interesting, especially with the Graduate card here. It seems like one of them in the relationship. It doesn't have to be specifically, but I am feeling like it's the Divine Masculines. I feel like the Divine Masculines are seeing that the Divine Feminine easily take strides toward what it is they're called to, and they sort of feel stuck in this limbo of like, they see her shining and they see her doing all these great things, using her talents. I'm just saying her because that's just, you know, take however that is for you. And they're like, I know I have those abilities too in some kind of way, but I don't know how to implement them, and it's just a little bit too much. They feel like they're bound to working tooth and nail, doing whatever job it is. Their intuition, they're like their soul, they know that there's some sort of like, they have this knowing that they're supposed to do great things with the feminine or with their counterpart. They have this knowing, and I feel like they're sort of just like, I don't know, like, what does that mean for me? So I feel like in some kind of way, they could have been a little bit triggered by something that happened lately. Where the Divine Feminine, or, you know, one of them really stood out and really just took new strides and did something new and did something amazing with their life. I feel like Spirit is emphasizing those cards that fell. There's one, dating. I don't know where that other one went. Okay. I'll have to, maybe that one's just for me. Ow! Maybe that one's just for me. Later on I'll get that. Okay. Let's see. They're worried. Oh my God. Okay. Spirit, please give me some sort of confirmation that I'm on the right track with this, because part of me feels like I'm reaching, but it makes sense. So part of them worries that, like, part of them worries that the grass is greener on the other side for you, and that you embarking, like you shining, you stepping into this new world that you are, they're worried that you're going to find, or that you might find someone that's like more on your level, so to speak. And this is because they're like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, sort of thing. And that would never be the case. But it's a valid insecurity, because I feel like too, if they're having that insecurity, that means that you would have that insecurity too if the roles were reversed in some kind of way. Even though you know that, you love them because of who they are, not because of what they do or how they shine, or whether they don't shine, or what role they play in your life. Look at this, magical mindset, and grass is greener again. Everything is divine. Know that you are the creator of your reality. Co-manifest with the universe. Yeah, I really feel like they're just worried that they're going to be left behind. And oh my God. So what this is talking about for me, and if you've done something recently where you've stepped out of your comfort zone and really stood into who you are, you've done something new and your masculine was there to witness it, or maybe your masculine knows about it or has seen something about it, like you're taking strides towards your career or something in a really huge kind of way. I feel like it's sort of sunk into your masculine, this insecurity that the grass is greener and they don't know what they're doing, and they feel overburdened by that, because they feel like they're not creative, but they are, because you are. It's just not their time yet to figure out what that is. And I feel like that for a lot of them may come after you have had some sort of success with your creativity. Anyway, my masculine, the day of the thing we did, so this was on Thursday, it's now Saturday morning in Australia. The thing that I did, that he came, he took me to, he supported me with it. I'm not going to tell you guys yet. He told me he had this dream that he was lost at sea, he was stranded at sea. And the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, oh my God, you're worried about being left behind. And it wasn't a logical thing, it was like an intuitive hit. It was like, I was like, oh, that means you're worried about being left behind in some kind of way. And it's like, oh, I don't know, it was just a really random dream. Like he sort of brushed it off. But that makes so much sense. Grass is greener, worried about being left behind. All right, let's see what else. So they know that there is something, they have this deep intuition that there is something for them. They're supposed to do something, that they are as great as you, and that, they are your equal. But, what's the but? Fool. I'm hearing new beginnings are scary. So new beginnings are scary for them. Why? In what way? They're worried they'll be left behind. They're worried they'll be left out in the cold. Why? Because you're leveling up. World. They feel like you've graduated, you've leveled up. Oh, we have the graduate card. And for some reason they feel like they haven't. Why do they feel like they haven't? Magician, the Devil, Seven of Cups, Hierophant, and the Four of Wands. Okay, so they feel like, and I'm laughing because it's cute, like it's not the case at all, but they are valid fears, and I do understand. So there's this fear, so they feel like they haven't leveled up because they feel like they haven't been as open as the Divine Feminine or their counterpart. They haven't been as adventurous. They feel like they haven't reached a certain, like they feel like they haven't reached self-mastery in the sense of, you know, I can manifest ideas and, you know, things I want to do out of thin air. They feel like they haven't done that because they feel like they don't take themselves seriously. And they know it's because fear is in the way. Fear is causing the confusion for them. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know what would make them shine. That's the confusion that they feel is just due to the fear. Okay, and for a lot of them, this is like a generational thing, and circumstantial, like meaning they had experiences growing up and things like that that have contributed to this fear. So they just sort of stay small, not small because they're not, but it's like they stick to, I'm hearing status quo from High School Musical. They stick to the status quo and they do what is tried and true because it brings them stability. They're like, you know what, as long as I'm stable, that's cool. But they do have dreams. They do have things they want to do, but they're sort of like at this tug where they're like, I don't know like how to bring that about. And they know that they have to get in touch with their mystical side, like their Divine Feminine does, or like their Divine counterpart does. But there's literal fear stopping them. Why is fear stopping them? Two of Swords. The Hermit and the Three of Wands. It's almost like they feel like they haven't bothered to really look deep enough. They know it's there, that High Priestess. They know the answer is there. They know the thing is there, but they're just sort of like voluntarily blind to it. So it's like wisdom, they have the wisdom, but they're not looking at it. They're not wanting to look at it. Even though they know this is what will bring them to their next level, their next step. So what does... Why haven't they been bothered to look at it? Why haven't they looked at it? Knight of Swords. Why haven't they looked within? Sort of like things have happened too quickly. Oh, it's like they want to be stable first. They want to enjoy themselves and be stable first. But the funny thing is, it's almost like I don't think they're going to be able to get to this Nine of Pentacles, however it is that they envision that, unless they dare to dream. But it's like they're gonna find that they're just continuing to chase stability. And they've been taught that you become stable first and then you do what you want to do, and that's not true. Their divine counterpart is proving that. Yeah. There needs to be some sort of metamorphosis an ending to the way of that conditioning, the way of that thinking. It's very outdated and it's lack. Yeah, adjustments are required. So let's see then. This is going to force them into an awakening of sorts. Absolutely, it's going to do that. Let's see then what is happening on a spiritual level for whoever this is, the divine counterpart, the divine masculine. I feel like it's the divine masculine. It's resonating that way for me anyway. What is happening on a spiritual level for the divine masculine that is helping him work through that or undo all of that? What is going to happen for the divine masculine that makes that happen? Okay, I'm hearing it comes down to that way of doing things, way of being modeled for them. So I really feel like divine feminines, you're really going to sort of hold the torch when it comes to that, in order for them to do that. Because they've never known or seen that way of doing things before. Let's see. The Star. Okay, this is definitely about wish fulfillment because we've got the Nine of Cups and the Six of Swords reverse, but I don't really take reversals, but that sort of feels like a halt. Things, let's see, I don't have the full picture here. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I think it's going to get to the point where they're seeing. How is the Star and Nine of Cups showing up for them? What's the context behind those two cards? Okay, so I feel like, and because we had this is where they're at sort of currently, what they're doing, they're sort of just reclusive. I think they're really thinking about how they can measure up. And this was, not that they need to measure up, but I feel like the divine counterpart, the divine feminine, was really serving as sort of a beacon of light, of inspiration when it comes to this. So I feel like they've really been thinking about what it is that they want and what it is that will make them happy, just as you continue to pursue your goals and your passions, divine feminine. So it's like the more that you do that, the more that they question, what is it that I want to do? How can I use the creativity that I have inside me? I feel like you're showing them a whole new world, or you're opening their eyes to a lot of possibilities just by them being around. So it's like you're Willy Wonka and his Charlie Bucket, showing him a whole world that, you know, he didn't know, or they didn't really know ever existed. Three of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So there's collaboration. So literally what I was saying is showing him a whole new world. I'm hearing a whole new world in my head. Beautiful. So it's really just by the divine feminine doing her thing, doing their thing. So let's see, what is it that has triggered this awakening in the divine masculine? What is it that the divine feminines are doing right now. What are the Divine Feminines doing right now that is serving as this inspiration for the Divine Feminine, masculine? Yep, Ace of Cups. We channeled this a few weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. So the Divine Feminines are literally in the midst of a brand new beginning that is emotionally fulfilling for them, that is going to be emotionally fulfilling for them. They're doing something new. They've embarked on something new. They're in the very beginning stages though. Oh my god, that's like way too many. Knight of Cups. So yeah, there's like, there was this offer or there was this opportunity to do something that was fulfilling, and they did it. Tell us about this. I'm sure the Divine Feminines here want to know about what this new beginning is going to amount to for them. One at a time, please. Six of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. So it is going to take a little bit of juggling, like in the sense of resources, but it's going to bring long-term emotional fulfillment. Absolutely. Sorry, my coffee was getting cold. So let's see about this Six of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Strength. Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. I thought it was saying something different. I got it. So this Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, whatever this new thing it is that you have embarked on, Divine Feminine, this is something that you have been sort of waiting for in the regards of like, this is going to really help with your finances, but you have been sort of like juggling a few things, trying to make adjustments, but this new opportunities come through to stabilize things. This is really going to help you get things to where you want to go, long-term vision, okay? So it's like a small idea or a small whim, like, oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah, I could do that. That'd be cool. This has sort of led to something quite bigger. It's actually led to, okay, well, we're going to do it. Off we go. An opportunity came along and we're like, I guess we're doing it. I guess we're doing it. So it started off as like a really small passing idea or whim that's now led into a whole new venture for you. You might find yourself going, I don't know why I said yes to this. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, it's not really something that I have been working on. Like, you have things that you've been working on since childhood that is like the thing that you want to pursue, the thing that you're good at. It's not that you're not good at this, it's that you've never considered this because it was never part of your plan. But it absolutely is part of your plan. Why? Because it brings you happiness. It brings you joy. You love doing this. You're going to find that you are going to feel like your wishes have come true. You feel so fulfilled. And it is also very much up your alley. You're going to find that too. One card. Okay, so going back to the Divine Masculine, that I'm just hearing that they're feeling pressure. That's what it is. They're feeling pressure, not from you, from themselves, from their soul, to get their stuff popping. What's this last card? Oh. The Hermit and the Chariot. So there's going to be a moment on this journey, Divine Feminine, where, clarify the Hermit, where you realize, or you're like, you know what, this is actually, yeah, this is for me. And it comes through the joy you find. It's like you have a moment where you're like, oh my God, I'm really enjoying myself. Like, I actually love doing this. And that's the moment, that's the turning point which solidifies this. Wheel of Fortune. It's the turning point that solidifies this into something stable. This aha moment you have, and boom, you're on the road to success. Simply because you deem it as enjoyable, simply because it brings you joy, you're like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing now. This is absolutely what I'm doing now. And you just go for it. It brings a lot of abundance, let me tell you that. Why? Because you've embarked on something, you've said yes to something that brings you a sense of fulfillment, that brings you a sense of joy. Because you're a Divine Feminine and you have listened to that calling. You welcomed it in by identifying how it makes you feel. And this little taste of it that you've just had, just from that alone, you know. Just from that, you know that this is for you. This is your thing. You could do this every day. There was a moment of recognition when you did this thing. Someone said something, and you identified with it heavily, and it brought you a sense of fire. You felt that fire because you identified with that, and that you knew that's what you're supposed to do. You knew. At least for right now. You have other things you want to do, but for right now, you know. Is there anything else? The choice. You've made the choice already. Yeah. You've made the choice to drop those burdens. And by doing this, you lead by example for your masculine. What's this? We're going in a different direction here. We're going more toward the connection. What's this about? The King of Pentacles. By making this choice, you drop that pressure and that burden for your masculine. Wow. Yep. King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. Everything feels secure. Don't know how, don't know why. Maybe because it's fresh new energy, you're walking a new path and you're showing your masculine that they can do it too, just on a whim like you did. And in fact, things become successful when you decide to bet on yourself and just decide to go, you know what, I'm just going to do it. You inspire them. And they're able to drop that burden of needing to be stable and secure all the time, because you're going to bring that stability for a little while with this new thing you do. And it leaves room for them to go and pursue what they want to do. You relieve them of the burden of having to hold things down. It was never that way, but they sort of put that on themselves, and you're breaking that mirage for them. Yeah. This is allowing them, they're going on a new journey, just as you are, but they're embarking on a new journey where they're getting in touch with their emotions, with what feel, they're learning how to feel out. You know, Hermit, Three of Cups, remember? You have a moment of recognition, what brings you joy, they're learning how to feel that out. So if you're noticing that they're being reclusive and they're being silent and distant, and something's just off with them, this is why. It's because they're being pushed into self-mastery and pushed into manifesting. And I feel like they're having an awakening where they're realizing that what they're doing right now, although it's great on paper, it's not great for their soul. It's not fulfilling them. And you're showing them that they can say yes to random opportunities and it can be successful. Yeah, they're starting to worry now. They're starting to be like, oh my God, this is not great. Doing things the tried and true way, doing things the way I'm supposed to do them based on societal standards isn't the way for me. And this is the case for a lot of twin flames. Yep, they feel like they're abandoning themselves. And they see the divine feminine shining and they're like, why can't I do that? They can. They're being pushed towards it. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know if this resonated down below. Please give this video a like. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Grab a reading with me down below in the description box, and I'll see you next time.